So, Iana Matei, hi.
Hi.
First of all, thanks very much for accepting to meet us.
It's my pleasure.
We are really glad to be able to talk with you, to interview you. I hope it's fine if we just videotape the interview and put it on the blog. So we're gonna tackle several issues. So the first question we would like to ask you is, so you created the association Reaching Out in the 90s to fight against organized networks of human trafficking, not only prostitution.
Basically, no. Basically, I put together the organization to assist the victims of human trafficking, and in the process we end up fighting the networks, because the girls choose to testify against the traffickers.
Okay.
Well, we can start with your request first, because even you didn't understand what trafficking means altogether. Yeah. That shows me that there is hope, and maybe when more people will find out what it's really all about, we will end up with a better legislation to protect these children. So that would be the summary, that it's not acceptable to sell our children.
Okay, so
5 million children are sold all over the world every year. Most of them will come from India, that's true, and they are sold on the cocoa plantation, on the because of the caste system. 2 million are coming from India, but the rest of them are from poor country towards richer country.
We thought about making the synthesis in two parts. First, the local action, what you do, and then the global action, what we would need to make this better. So about the local action, could you sum up really quickly what happens, what is the problem?
Local action, I think that the civil society should be more involved, and the government should allow that to happen, because what happens when they put together a national agency, a governmental agency, they discourage the civil society to participate. They manipulate the civil society through the funds. We give you funds if you promote our policy. If you don't promote our policy, we don't give you the funds. And my role as a civil society is to stand up for the victim's right. And of course I will sometime come against the policy of the government, but this is my priority, to represent the girls. And we should understand that and find a way to work together, rather than, you know, closing up all the NGOs because they're the civil society. This is what we need locally. In Eastern European countries we need more NGOs, more active NGOs, and the government should allow them to do their job.
Could you just sum up what you do with your association? Just
for integration and protection for victims of trafficking. So we have a one-year program in which we do medical assistance, psychological counseling, life skills. We teach them in the shelter, schooling, work. Then when they start their job, we open a bank account on their name, and all their wage goes into their bank account. So at the end of the program they will have some money saved in their bank account. We help them live independently. Basically, this is what we do.
Okay. You mentioned the fact that there is a global misunderstanding about what is human trafficking. Could you define what is really human trafficking? What happens in Romania?
Transporting and exploiting. So they will be recruited in Romania. They will be unaware of what happens to them when they go into destination country. Remember that they are all young, and at this age, actually this is interesting. A lot of the girls coming in our shelter will respond yes to my question, if you know about trafficking. They say, yes, of course I've heard about trafficking, but I thought that only the prostitutes are going there. I thought it will never happen to me. This is the theme for a teenage or for a young person. The bad things never happen to me. I know how to overcome that.
Could you just give us a word about your motivations to do this, to do what you do every day?
Oh, it's the injustice. This is what struck me when I first saw the three girls. It's the injustice. It's a terrible injustice that is done to the girls.
Obviously, a lot of money is needed. Could you, in a few words, how have you fund yourself, and talk to us about this new project of sustainable?
We need 83,000 euro per year, and let me tell you that this is peanut money comparing to the conferences that we organize in all these 10 years, when you spend at least 300,000 euro for a conference just to talk about trafficking. 83,000 is not that much. we have this NGO from the States that fundraise for us. We had projects, I wrote projects, I had USAID money the first 2 years, then I had GetAZ money, German organization, governmental organization.
So this was about the local action you do. We're going to talk about the global problem. What do you think is requested to fight the problem of human trafficking?
Globally, I don't think that the countries, the governments, will come together to agree on one strategy. They still fight on abolishing or legalizing prostitution, punishing the clients or not. I think that the only thing where we can agree, and this is the first step we should take, is increasing penalties for traffickers. Just, put them in jail, lock them there, and throw the key away. And then the second one won't start doing, as it is now, it's low risk, high pay. You can sell a victim 15 times a day. Think about the money that there are girls making 5,000 € per week for a trafficker. And if he has 5 girls, he has enough money to pay the police in that country as well.
Okay. And just to remind us, because it's part of our project, what do you think of the role that the European Union can play in this matter? Do you think it can help? Do you think it doesn't help?
I think that all they want is to, get rid of this issue, subject. They close their eyes, they put some recommendations there, and it's done. And in Romania, they're used to do things when they are, when they know they are threatened somehow, yeah? Up until now, we took some measure. We have anti-trafficking legislation and all that, victim protection, because we were supposed to make it into the EU. And there were measures, you take this measure, you make it into the EU. You don't take this measure, then you won't join the EU. So they had to do it because they had something to gain. Now, when the European community deals with national agency and the reports are nice, there is no threat, there is no scare, so they can do whatever they want to do. In this way, European community didn't help. They just make recommendations towards the government, and if the government wants, okay. If not, that's okay. We signed and ratified, I don't know how many conventions on anti-trafficking, but do we implement them? It's a lot of talk about trafficking. Everyone agrees, even at the European level, they agree. It's a lot of talk on anti-trafficking. I just don't understand why we don't have measures as well.
And do you think maybe it's because Romania was recently joined the EU? So do you think maybe after a few years, some of the measures will be efficient, or they will take more interest in the
No, I don't think. I think that at this moment, everyone, at the European level including, want to drop this issue. They're sick and tired of hearing about trafficking. But it's also true that you have anti-organized crime police, and they're doing their job. Yeah, these guys are not corrupted, but who knows about them? Not many people. Romania, and the police is not a big deal because they do make the case, they put file together, everything is okay, but then you have a judge, and the judge decides to take 100,000 € and let the traffickers free, but they don't say, we don't convict them. They are free until the conviction will be given. And what do the traffickers do when they first get out of prison? They go threaten the girls will run away, they don't go back in court to testify, and the judge says, see, I've told you, they're forced. They don't take responsibility. It's their responsibility, the victim's responsibility to put traffickers in jail. It's not the judge. It's not law enforcement. Law enforcement should go gather the evidence. You can get the bank accounts, seize the properties. They could do so many things. But they prefer to say, well, it's very difficult. We can't do that. And we cannot prove that it's illegal money or properties. So the girls, it's their responsibility. The girls have to testify to put them in jail. The girls have to do prevention. All the journalists are coming to ask the girls, come on, talk to me, tell me what happened to you, because you can do prevention, you prevent other girls from doing. Why is this the girls' responsibility? It beats me. What about us, grown-ups? I got angry, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.